Flying colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life.
Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody. We are here. We are live. Hopefully you are too. And everything's ringing here on me. So, yep. And I hope you can hear us. Should be. There goes the clock on the wall. I don't know if you can hear that. Yep, monitor's working, so that is good. Okay, so welcome everybody. And let's take a look at who's been joining in here. There was a lineup in the chat room early today. I don't know what that means. So Nina is number 1 on here, and right on her heels is Barb. And then it's Caroline. And how come I'm getting some message on my phone?
It's probably one of those.
Oh, yeah, I don't recognize it. Geez, they have great timing for this.
Well, maybe it's linked to your
Well, I hope not. Who knows what we might get from that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So Caroline is here, and Julie is here, and Russ is here. Russ has company this weekend. If you missed his vlog this week, he explained who that was. And he says, "Hi, Stephen. Hi, Walter. If I can turn you on the living room television with my sister and cousin get upside down happy face."
unhappy.
So what, they get unhappy if we're on?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's really nice. I don't even know them.
I obviously somehow gets conflicted.
Okay.
Maybe maybe his bandwidth is shitty. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they want to have his undivided attention and he's not allowed to watch anything else. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. But then again, most of the time I don't know what Russ means. Sometimes there's very cryptic messages. I tried to get Russ yesterday. He sent me a picture when he was at his concert of a Canadian flag hanging, and it's hanging sideways from the rafters, you know how they hang flags. And I said to him, well, the flag is not put in the right position. That's wrong. And I said that the points on the maple leaves had to be at certain way. And I knew that he would turn around and look that up, because I know he figured I was lying to him, but I know there was a little uncertainty there. But anyways, I did eventually say to him, well, I was just joking. I mean, I'm pretty much sure he had it figured out. I think there might have been just a moment of hesitation about the correct orientation of the Canadian flag. I was going to say, I said to Walter later, I should have said, yeah, you put it sideways and all the beavers will drop out. So, but anyways, moving on here. Who else? We've got Charlotte. Charlotte is here, and Sue is here. And Charlotte likes the music. And Arta is here from San Diego, and Joanne G. Gloria is here. Susan is here. Wishing everybody that everybody has a happy Sunday. I hate that when the chat jumps way up to the top of the screen. Joan is here. Inez is here. Elva is here. And Karen B is here. And Alice. And Joan says, Stephen, have a question. Are you and Stephanie going to do the MSK quilt box this year? I don't know what Stephanie's doing with it. I know I'll be doing it with Walter. Karen Lyle says, hi everyone on this beautiful fall day. Phyllis is here. Pat Wainwright is here. Heather is here. Judy is here from California. Dubrovka is here, and I imagine with Al as well. From Hot Timmins. And Mary Jane Souza is also here from Massachusetts. Cynthia, of course, is here. Hi, chatting like the song. Can't wait for the retreat. Okay, good. I'm glad, Cynthia. More about that in a moment. Colleen is here. Hello, Colleen. Pat just finished watching Law.
LA.
I don't know. It's just Law. Well, Russ says the joke was, if I can turn you on, the turn you on phrase. Oh, geez, Russ. I did get that, but I didn't bother to comment on it. Oh, God. It's the upside down face. I don't get that.
Unhappy.
I know it's unhappy, but there's an emoticon for that.
Yeah, well, isn't that what it is?
No, the emoticon is a frowny thing on it.
Oh,
it's not
okay.
upside down. So, you know, like, you got to keep up with your emoticons.
Yeah,
Jeez,
well, I don't
emojis or whatever they call them.
I only know certain ones.
Yeah, well, right. We're not mentioning the eggplant. Melissa's here from Saskatchewan. Oh, Fran and Gigi say hi. Hi, Fran and Gigi.
Yeah. Hi, Fran.
Is
Gigi.
is Kukla in the room too? And Ollie? That's an old reference. Bet you Russ won't get that reference.
It's a silly face.
It's a silly face. Okay. Marilyn's here. Dana is here from lovely Regina. That Ian was in good C.
Company?
She's making us work at this, isn't she?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think of other C words, but I don't know.
Yeah, but no, we can't use those there. No. Charlotte says, hi, Restaurant and Gigi. Mona is here. Hi, Mona. Silly face. Okay. You go by that, Russ. Silly face it is. Okay, so everybody is here. Maybe a few coming in a bit as we get going here, but let's talk about what we've been working on. And let's see. I gotta find it. Where is it? There it is. Okay. I can show you this. Yeah, okay. I know. You've seen this like for weeks now, and it doesn't seem to be progressing. Well, you would be right. It isn't progressing. I did some more. There's 4 blocks I'm working on right now. They're all the same block. I have the pieces cut out, and on Wednesday sew day, I started sewing some of them. It's a lot of flying geese in that block, so I got those going. What, new fingers or what? You keep looking at your hands.
No,
what?
no. My finger feels funny, but I think it's because I cut up a chili.
Oh. What did you say to insult it? Where's your shit? Don't touch your eyes.
Yeah, I know.
I made that mistake when I was cutting up the jalapenos. I touched my eyes. They burn. And I'm glad it was just my eyes I touched. But anyways, so yeah, not getting too far on this. Maybe this week a little further. I know I keep saying that all the time. I did make these though, and I showed them a little earlier this week as well. This comes from, and Inez is here. Inez is from Newfoundland, and she's a regular. And you saw the ones I made before this, which had the same design except in 4 corners. And you had to sew them together, the tiles, which I've done that kind of thing before, but I didn't like the way they looked after I sewed them together because you had sort of a line, you know, a horizontal and a vertical line.
Crisscross in the middle.
Yeah, crisscross in the middle. And I didn't really like that. But I did like the design. And so I was going to abandon it because originally when I picked this design, I was thinking of making placemats to go with the table runner I'm making for my hairdresser for Christmas. But Inez suggested, well, she says, can you do it in such a way that you could get all 4 parts in one hooping with your largest hoop? And I hadn't really thought of that. And I thought, that's an idea. And like the initial answer to this is no. But it got me thinking, do I necessarily need to have all 4 corners? If I just focus on 2 corners, and if I shrink them down to 80% of their size, because that's as small as I can go in the embroidery hoop, then yeah, I might be able to do that. So I did, and it worked. And then I just added a border piece, and I did a conventional binding, and I just quilted. I layered, I put a backing on it. The backing is the same as the backing that you see on the front in the center square and in the binding. And I quilted it just straight line walking foot on the domestic machine around. And I think they look pretty good. So what do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, well, looks good. Yeah, okay. High praise. So these are not the ones, though, that I've made for a gift. I'll make them out of a sage green and whatnot. I've got fabric for that so that they'll coordinate with the table runner. But thank you, Inez. That was a brilliant idea. And sometimes you're too close to a project like I was and you don't think that far outside of the box.
Think outside the box. Yeah.
You know, I usually do think outside of the box, but I didn't on this one's case. And so, yeah, so that was a great idea. So Inez is just not a pretty face. Although I've never seen Inez's face, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not showing that yet. So anyways, that's what I've been working on. So Walter, what have you been doing?
I don't know. I still have a shirt hanging there. I haven't done anything to it. I definitely will get to it this week. Or if not, I definitely will get to it on the slow day.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
I mean,
But
I've been doing other stuff around the house and stuff, and
he's been busy with his gardening, and
I did some cleaning up around the house.
we're going to talk about his culinary experiments a little later on because he's been busy with those as well. So yeah, he's always busy at something. Let's see. Anybody come in while we were talking? Katie Crafts came in. Hello, Katie Crafts. Bonnie is here. Jeannie is here. Dennis says, I really like the embroidery design. Yeah, I like it too. Actually, it's one that if you did the whole thing, it's supposed to be a Halloween one because there's spider webs and spiders in amongst those flowers, but I didn't bother to stitch those out because I just wanted the flowers. Jenna says, love those colors. Beautiful, very expensive looking. Ooh. Well, to be honest, Inez, that's why I picked that design, because I wanted something that has elegance to it. I didn't want something that was, you know, kind of comical or novelty for my hairdresser, because she's really not a comedy novelty type of girl. You know, she's very much into home decor and stuff like that. She actually took courses in interior design and things like that. And of course, being a hairdresser, you know, she tends to have designer tendencies in her and certain creativity. So I didn't want to make something that looked juvenile either. So I think that'll fit the bill. Car Quilter is here from Maryland. Great. Welcome, Car Quilter. Okay. So Walter hasn't got his shirt done. So announcements and things. First of all, okay, next week is Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada for Canadians. We're always earlier than the Americans, as you probably well know. So we are going to my sister's next Sunday for dinner. That means we'll be doing the live, but we're going to be on 1 hour earlier. So we come on at 4. We will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Time next Sunday. So if you can remember that, I'll probably be reminding you in my vlogs this week anyways. But yeah, so we're going to be 1 hour earlier next week because it's Thanksgiving. And let's see. Sewing with Steven on Wednesdays as usual, 9 a.m. If anybody's never been before, come and go as you please. And I think that's all I need to say about that. Pop-up Sew Day next Saturday. That's October the 11th. I open the virtual doors at 8. The link will be in the show notes of this today, but it'll also be in the show notes for everything I put up next week up to Saturday. So if you've never been to a pop-up sew day, it isn't formal. It's very relaxed. You work on whatever you want to work on. Come and go as you please, and we just chat and sew and yeah, just have a good old time. I'm hoping to get a lot done on that Stormy Sea quilt next Saturday. Okay, let's talk retreat. Tomorrow's the big day for registration. Okay, so registration opens tomorrow, Monday, October the 6th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, my time zone. Now, does that mean you have to be right there at 9 o'clock? No, you do not. But I wouldn't be procrastinating. I mean, I'll leave it open until I believe I'm closing it on the 19th of October. Yeah, 19th of October. So 2 weeks basically you have to register for it. However, I have limited space, as you know. If you saw the video, I explained all that. And it does fill up very fast. I will be establishing a waiting list because, you know, some people, something happens, you know, in that week before or a few days before and they just can't make it and they let me know so they don't get on the blacklist. And then I take somebody on the waiting list and drop them in and I'll let you know if you got a spot. So tomorrow, if you try to register before 9 o'clock tomorrow, I will ignore it. I'm trying to keep it fair. So, and I'm very strict about this, okay? It doesn't mean you can't try again, but it just means that if you're trying to, you know, jump the gun, don't. because I want to keep it as fair as I possibly can for everybody. Once I have you registered, I will send you a confirmation and let you know that yes, you're in, your spot is reserved, no problems. And there'll be some other things in that little email too, telling you about when you can expect the links and everything else for that. And I said links because we have the link for the retreat, of course, but the night before we have a little informal cocktail party, sort of an icebreaker. So people, you know, because I'll have a lot of people that don't know each other. And so that is not something that is mandatory. If you are free on the Friday night for a couple hours and you want to join in for a little while or come for the whole thing, that's fine. We just chat, bring something along with you if you want to show something. But you don't have to worry about and remember all of this right now. All of that I will send to you once you are registered, and you'll get the whole lowdown on all of that. So just to reiterate, tomorrow, Monday, October 6th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, my time zone. You'll have to figure out what time that is in your time zone if it's different. Registration opens. All you need to do is send me an email with your first name and your last name and the email address you want me to use to contact you with. Now, if it's the same as the one you sent that information from, you don't even need to bother putting that in. That's all you need to do. But it has to be your real name and your real last name, because that's what you'll be registered under. And I do attendance on the day of, and so does Walter, because he's there too, helping. So if you come in or sign in under a different name, and I don't have that name, you won't get in, because yeah, there's crazy people out there that try to crash the party. So if you have any questions, you can always email me. Where do you find my email address? Well, most of you probably have it already if you're on the mailing list. However, if you do not, if you go into the show notes, you will see there's a little blurb about sending me a quilt or something like that, or how you find my email address. There's a link. You click on that link, it will take you to the About page for the channel. And if you scroll down a little bit in that, you'll see a thing that says email, but you may not see my email address because it wants to make sure you're a human. And there's a little box you check asking you to verify that you're human. And once you've done that and submit that, then my email address pops up. But I can tell you what it is right now. Got a pen and paper ready? It's really hard. It's Stephen Bland, Stephen with a V. Make sure you put it as Stephen, not Steve. Bland, B-L-A-N-D, all one word, all lowercase, at Sympatico, sympatico.ca. It's easy as that. So that should not be too hard for you. Okay, I don't think I need to say anything more about that. Let's see. What else? Oh, I have a comment of the week. Now, usually before we do this, when I'm setting this up, I go into the comments for all the videos I put up in the last week and see if there's any there that need to be answered or like are a little bit more involved. So rather than me writing an answer, I will present it here. But we really didn't have any this week that stood out. But there was one, and it was a reaction to what we had said about bad service at a quilt store. And I just want to read you this because I think this person has got it nailed right down. This comes from Maureen Tager. And she says, some owners of quilt stores do not know how to run a business and know nothing about how to treat customers. They know nothing about customer service. It's my pet peeve. I like a store that greets you with a hello and a smile, leaves you alone to browse, but is there to help when you need it. My nearest store like that is an hour away. I just wish it was next door. I do a lot of shopping online, and I like the site that takes the time to put a handwritten thank you on the bottom of the invoice. It's the little things that you remember and makes you go back again and again. And basically that's what we said too. I will pay a little bit more. Price is not the thing that attracts me to a store. I mean, it's one of the factors, yes. But as we said before, if the customer service is great, I'll be back for that. And that goes with both physical stores and online stores. And yeah, I like getting a little thank you note too. It's just a little tiny personal touch. And some online stores do that, but it makes you feel like they appreciate your business, that
Yeah.
you're special.
Yeah, like I've ordered a lot of stuff online, and it is nice to get that little note at the end from anybody
Yeah.
that says thank you for doing business with us.
What's even nicer is when they send you a freebie. And I've had a few like that. Like they've sent me a free fat quarter or a pen or something like that. Now, it's not that I expect them to send me a freebie, but it's a nice little surprise. I know some places throw in a couple of candies or even, and something as small as that just makes you feel a little bit more special, and you will come back. And they know that. And I think that's good plan, good
PR,
customer service,
yeah.
good PR.
And
good
the
PR.
same with going into a store, and being treated well is
Yeah.
good, because we've had stores where we get it's two guys,
Yeah.
and can I help you? We don't know why you're here.
Are you picking up something for your wife? No.
Like, I mean,
I usually look at Walter at that point. No, he's here with me.
yeah. So like, I mean, I do understand that, their mail stores aren't as common, and so I can take that with a grain of salt type of thing as that. But I mean, if they're downright, I've had people following me around in the store.
Yeah,
as well.
sometimes they think you're coming in there to, like, look at us. Do we look like thieves? We're a couple of senior citizens, really. But they'll follow you around like that, too, with it. But you want to know something, and this is reverse discrimination or reverse sexism. Because if a man running a store was to walk up to a woman and say, are you looking for something for your husband? Let's say they were in a place like Princess Auto, which is auto parts and hardware and stuff like that. And one of the salespeople came up, a man, and said to a lady in there, oh, can I help you are you looking for something for your husband or boyfriend? Something like that. What do you think a woman would do? I know what a woman would do. She's not going to take that shit.
I think that might be common too in car repair shops.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. So, but a woman doesn't take it.
It would be different if you say in a car repair shop or something like that, say, are you familiar with the way the braking system works or something like that, or whatever they're
something
describing.
that doesn't sound condescending.
No.
And is suggesting that, you're in the wrong place. What the hell would you know about anything? I walk into a car place like that. They could ask me those questions. I don't know a thing. I don't know. I'm looking for the things that are round. They're usually black and they go on the bottom of a car. Are you talking about wheels? That's it. I knew. It's on the tip of my tongue. Pace is here. Hi, Pace. And L, is it Bi or B? Bia? I'm not sure how to say your last name. Sorry about that, but welcome, because I don't think you've been on here before. So that's great. New blood. Karen's here. Karen Costa. Did you see that Benetech is going to get one of Stephanie's patterns? No, I didn't. I don't follow Stephanie, so I didn't see that. Anyways, yeah, so, that turns me right off when we walk into a quilt store. But that hasn't happened in a while. Well, it did kind of, but we thought about that place that we talked about, that we didn't get, that had a problem with me, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, there was a place up north that when we first started going there, they were a little bit strange when we went in there, but they have since warmed up because we've become familiar.
Yes. Yeah, they have. And they also went under new management, though.
Yeah, I know. Actually, they loosened up a bit.
Yeah, they loosened up a little bit with it all. Yeah, well, money talks,
I also don't like people asking me what I'm going to do with the fabric that I'm purchasing. You know what I mean? Like, I may have a purpose, I may not have it. But well, what are you going to do with this? Like, I don't know. I depends. Maybe I'll make a shirt out of it. Maybe I'll do something else with it. But
actually, it's not the question that bothers me. It's the tone of the question. How is there? Some will say, "Oh, that's really pretty. do you have any idea what you're going to do with it? Or, oh, that's pretty. What are you going to do with it? There's a tone of like, well, why the hell would you be buying that then? It's my money. I'm buying it because it's pretty. And that's
Well,
often what I
somebody
say.
asked me, sometimes they ask me, is that going to be a shirt? And I said, it might be, might not.
Like, don't put pressure on me. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Don't you be judgmental about that. Why the hell would you be buying that much fabric if you don't know what you're doing with it? Because I'm rich. Go away.
Well, maybe it's because I usually ask for 3 meters, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Some curiosity, but it's a tone. There's a tone. You can tell. When it's somebody just genuinely just wondering like that, and it's a friendly piece of conversation, not a problem. But it's not always, doesn't always come out that way.
I mean, I suppose when you go in a quilt store and normally people are selling like half meter or half yard at a time, and
yeah,
I'm going in and buying free. So
actually, you get the ones that come in. I just need quarter of a yard, quarter of a meter. I would like to say at that point, well, my God, you cheap old biddy, why don't you buy a full meter for God's
I've been
sake?
in there before, and somebody will be like taking up the staff's time, going over and over with like a million different pieces of fabric, getting the right color, and then everything's right down to the wire, and they say, oh, I'll take half a yard.
Well, at our quilt store, they don't sell anything less than half a meter of it, and for good reason, because it really chops up a bolt fabric, and then they're down to where there's not enough to do anything with, but there's enough on there for a little bit, so that's when you get remnants.
Yeah, actually, what I should be saying is making a pretty straight jacket.
Yeah. But anyways, back to that whole comment, like I agree totally with what Maureen was saying. We like to feel special. I mean, it is a business. The customer's always right. But I think a lot of businesses have forgotten that over the years. And now you see these signs. In fact, the other day we were in Crappy Tire. Walter bought a new toy. We'll talk about the new toy.
I haven't used it yet.
He hasn't used it yet. We'll talk about the new toy in a minute. Anyways, he got the wrong accessory to go with the new toy and needed to exchange it for the right one. So he took it into Crappy Tire and, said, yeah, they should sure just, grab the right one, bring it here, and we'll get it all straightened out. But I'm looking at a sign, and I've seen these signs in lots of places. I've seen them in banks. I've seen them in other stores. And it's basically the sign that says, don't be abusive, don't yell at, don't swear at the help, we will refuse you service, blah, 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 if you're being like that. And I get it, because just watch it on YouTube. It's a scream and a half to watch the Karens out there. Sorry, the Karens on here. I didn't mean that, Karen.
Annoying people.
Annoying people, yeah. That, just jump off at the, they don't try to explain why they're having a problem and ask nicely, can you help me? They immediately go for the juggler. And they're abusive to people. And yeah, salespeople in a store, employees in a store don't have to take that kind of crap. They shouldn't.
And not only
take
that, it's usually not their fault anyway. It's usually something that has occurred.
Yeah. Beyond their control.
Beyond their control.
And they're trying to do the best they can to make it right.
And half the time it's the person that's coming in and making the complaint that it's their fault.
Yeah. So, but I've noticed these signs, which would suggest to me that there's been a lot of incidents of that, or increased amount of that. I mean, I do remember when I worked in retail as a kid, I didn't really get a lot of people jumping down my throat when they brought something back. And ironically, I worked at Canadian Tire when I was a teenager in high school. But times have changed. People just immediately, go right for the juggler. And that's why, back to the comment about good customer service, I think people are less likely to jump down a store owner or a store employee's throat if they're treated nicely right on the get-go. I think that diffuses, people who might be coming in, hunting for bear, in there, and that's a way of diffusing it. So there is another good reason why people who run stores need to, you know, be that way, be good, like treat people like people. And then they get real nasty. You pull out your gun and blow them away. No, not in Canada. We don't do that. We use knives. Yeah. Or we throw a beaver at them. That'll do it. So Barbara's here. And Barb says, just tell them you're making a shirt or skirt or making a skirt. I'm just making myself for evening wear. I just got new pearls. Need something to go with it. Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Charlotte says collecting fabric is a thing. Might be a good answer. Well, that's an idea.
Yeah, actually, we've said once before.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's pretty. I wanted it.
Yeah, for the collection. I'm curating a collection. It makes you sound like you're somebody up there. And Inez says full moon brings out the worst out in people. Oh yeah, yeah. I have stories about full moon when I was teaching school. We always knew with the kids when there was a full moon because they were as rangy as hell.
Unfortunately, the people that are probably abusive don't read those signs.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because Greenland Katie here says, hello, Greenland Katie. I agree with those signs. In fact, they should keep abusive people out. Yeah.
Well, actually, at least it gives an out for the store that if you're being abusive, say, look, you're being abusive. We don't need to deal with it.
Yeah.
So.
Russ says the customer isn't always right in matters of taste is the rest of the phrase. Well, I don't know, Russ. I don't think if you were a store owner, you'd want to say something like that. And besides, taste depends on the individual. I mean, we don't like everything. Sweet Granny's here. She said she worked in a fabric department, and I was always nice, but customers on their end can be a bear. Oh yeah, it's not an easy job to work.
No.
I know. I did it, and I did it once I retired too for a couple of years at a local craft store as well. And some people can, you know them as soon as you saw them walk in the door, even though you had never seen them before. You knew, this one's going to be trouble. And then, as an employee of the store, what you did is you were extra nice when they first came in. I mean, it would kill me, but I did it. Believe it or not. Yeah, if I want to be, I can be nice. But yep. And sometimes, if there's more than one store employee in there at the time, sometimes they go, uh-oh. Here she comes again, or here he comes again. And you go, why? What's about this one? Oh, God. I'll tell you later when they're gone. And then you hear all kinds of horror stories. So you just walk up and go, hi, welcome. Can I help you with anything? No. Okay, well, I'll just be over by the counter. You just holler if you need anything. And then they do. So, Teresa's here. Hi, Teresa. And Jean E. Moosley is here as well. Julie says, yes, I'm a quilter, but I enjoy buying fabric and just look at it. And yep, there's lots of answers for that. My standard answer is, no, it's pretty. I want it. Melissa says, fabric counter. You could say, I need some grease rakes for when I work on my car. Yeah, that might be something too. Oh, there's all kinds of smart ass answers you could give.
Well, a lot of times for me, it's just, I haven't seen that as a pattern that I figure that I could use it for something in the future. And it won't necessarily be for, a lot of times it's not for an immediate use. So,
but it's the tone. Sometimes the tone is when they ask you that, what are you going to do with it? It's like they're placing a judgment on you. It's almost like, in some ways, depending again on the tone, it's almost a test, because we're men, especially. What they're really saying is, do you know what to do with it? And that's condescending right there. And that goes back to what I said about reverse sexism or whatever, the whole bit there too. So it all depends on the tone. Might also depend on my mood.
Though for the vast majority of fabric shops that we've been to, we've been treated well.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's one or two that.
Yeah.
But it used to be in craft stores when he used to do
get
crafting.
that. Oh,
You got it almost every time.
Oh,
when you
yeah.
didn't get it, then it felt weird.
Yeah, you were expecting it. You'd walk in the store and expect it. As soon as they came up and go, "Are you
A scrapbooking store?"
Yeah. Are you looking for something in particular? That's how they'd say it, and I go, "No, yeah, I am, but it's okay. I know what I'm looking for. I'm a scrapbooker." And a lot of times after I said that, they would, "Oh, okay." Then they'd run behind the counter and go, "Oh my God, they're gay." And they did. They did. I am not really being funny about that.
And then you get a bad reaction when it's somebody that's a fundamentalist.
Oh, yeah, the Bible thumpers. Yeah, and there's a lot of Bible thumpers in the scrapbooking community, I found, as time went by, Well, you just have a blessed day. Open wide. What's blessed is what's the Handmaid's Tale stuff? They always say that something about I can't remember now. But anyways, yeah. Well, let's not go too far there. Mark is here. Hi, Mark. He retracted his message.
I don't know. I saw it briefly and I didn't get a chance to read it.
Oh. I hope it was funny, though, and we missed it. Okay, so anyways, how did we get on all of that crap? Oh, I guess that was because of the comment of the week. Okay, let's move on to a new subject, shall we? So, last of the garden season. We're having nice weather right now today, but that's just, we know it's going to turn, and that's it. So I picked some more, well, actually, Walter picked peppers, but you picked the peppers from the ones indoors.
Yeah, because I decided to get rid of the indoor peppers plants because they were getting really woody and unruly. And then I've started growing some tomato plants for indoors and repotted them. I kept one pepper plant back, but I'm growing seeds for new pepper plants. So.
And we can show you what the garden looks like. I'm going to talk about this a little more detail with other pictures on my vlog this week. But here's what we're looking at right now. If you take a look at the tomato plants, they almost look like they've been hit by frost, but they haven't. We haven't had frost yet. But what?
Yeah, I know. We've had some cool nights though. But we have a lot of tomatoes on there still because we've got overflowing tomatoes. We don't know what to do with most of them, but
and we still have some peppers. Yeah. And I don't have a picture here to show you because it's off screen, but there are jalapenos and our hot chili peppers. We still have a few of those, and I just did up 2 more bottles of my pickled peppers on earlier in the week.
Peter Piper picked
I've got quite a few jars of them this year out of it all. And they're good in all kinds of things. You can throw them in a salad. You can slip them on a Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. You can cook with them if you want to in a stir fry or in other things, a sauce. It's quite versatile and they last forever, being pickled and whatnot. So, yeah. And I'm going to I can probably get, with what we've got left out here, I can probably get maybe 1 more jar. Or I may just do another jar up of just sliced up jalapenos and pickle those. I think I did 1 or 2 of those too as well. We do have some cucumbers still, but I think we're at the end of those. But we also had, and I don't have a picture of this, but Walter just picked, how many of our 2-bite melons did you pick?
Yeah, but 3 of them today.
Yeah.
But I cut one up for dessert tonight.
So we're having our own cantaloupe melons in it.
None of them got very big,
No.
but they're very juicy. So
yeah, they taste good because we've had one already from it. But what, you think we planted them too late?
Yeah, apparently they need like about 90 days to grow, and I didn't plant them till about 2 weeks into June when we got back from the Netherlands. So they didn't really end up coming on until like late, um, late August.
Yeah. But they were an experimental crop because we container garden, as you could see in the picture,
Yeah.
and I didn't know if those would really.
Yeah, I know.
do
I just,
anything.
it was an impulse buy. I was at one of the garden centers and they had little cantaloupe plants, and I thought, let's see if this works. And then after I got it home, I checked to see, can you grow these in a pot? And I guess you can, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd grow them again. But I mean, it was kind of fun.
I was going to say I thought you should try them again, but this time we plant them earlier.
Yeah, except that we're going away during May next year.
So?
Yeah.
Why is that a problem? We went away.
Yeah, I guess I could.
You could do
start
the
now.
same thing as you did with the other things. You just put them in those big vats.
Yeah,
With
I'll
the
do
water.
that, yeah.
I don't know. But whatever. But yeah. So it's always kind of sad when you start to see everything die back and that, because I always like the way it looks on our deck. It's nice and lush and green in the summer.
I mean, usually I put some flowers out too, but this year I decided, nah, no flowers.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
didn't need them. Can't eat them. Well, some flowers you can eat. So
Our next door neighbor, all she does is put out flowers. So
yeah. Oh, that's interesting. How come I see it on? That's interesting. On here, I see that it says, this message is held for review. I don't know what that is. That was weird. But it didn't show up on here. So why is it showed up on that? Anyways, won't worry about that. So did I say hello to Sherry? I don't think I did. Hello, Sherry. And Parm. Parm is here. Alice says she's a fabric collector. Mark says, when I go into a new quilt shop, they often think I'm there to rob them. Is it your look, or is it just that you're wearing that thing over your head? That might do it. Barb said, last night here in Calgary, it was 2 degrees. So you guys are getting it, the cold. Well, it's Canada. It's October. Yeah, we're moving there. Thank you, Charlotte. Inez turned on her furnace this morning. We haven't had our furnace on yet.
no, we've noticed since we've had the new windows that it stays warmer in the house.
Well, the old windows were pretty drafty. That's for sure. So, yeah, so we're going to have melon tonight. And also, Walter's been, I was going to say what we've learned this year from our crops and everything like that. Now, we still have our grow lights. And we plan to, like, you started what, peppers or tomatoes?
Right now I've got tomatoes, but I have some peppers beginning seeds growing that I have to transplant. So
Yeah, well, I saw, what have you got transplanted out underneath the grow light number 3?
you're not transplanted. There's nothing transplanted there.
Well, you got stuff, you cleaned off all the old pepper
Yeah,
stuff.
I've got a million tomatoes.
Is that what's there?
I have to get rid of them because I've already potted them in the other room.
Okay, I guess I'm not making myself clear. It was a simple question, I thought, but you did it with the greatest of complexity. What's growing under grow light 3 right now?
Is that the one by the patio
The one,
doors?
no, the one in the
I don't know what grow light number 3 is.
grow light number 1 is the first grow light we got. That's by the patio doors.
Oh.
Grow light number 2 is the one by where the organ used to be, where the fridge is and the phonograph is now. Grow light number 3 is the more elaborate
It's
ones that we've got in the
it's
workshop.
Tomatoes and one existing pepper.
I'm getting out the label maker. There's going to be big labels on everything. Grow light 1, grow light 2, grow light 3. Yeah. What'd you say is growing there?
Tomatoes and one old pepper.
Oh, one old pepper. How do you tell? It's got a cane? What? To hold it up. Did you start more peppers?
Yeah, and grow light number 2.
Oh, wait. Grow light number 2 still has gnarly lettuce in it, doesn't it?
No.
That's the one closest here to the wall.
Oh, okay. No, that's grow light number 1.
Label maker! Pass me my label maker!
I started peppers in grow light number 1. I don't know why I can't get them straight.
Okay.
Grow light number 2 still has gnarly lettuce in it.
Yes. It's for Halloween. It's gnarly lettuce because it's all...
I will clean that out soon.
We should start some basil.
Yeah, well, there's old basil and grow light number
too, but I think it's being strangled by the
Yeah,
gnarly lettuce.
yeah.
I know this. Anyways, we continue that. So our winter crops will be lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, basil. And that's what we've had the most luck with to date under the grow lights. And I can't think of anything else to grow under the grow lights to see if they will do anything or not. Let's see, backing up here, furnace on. Cynthia says, in our garden, we had string beans that I cut and freeze. Then we had zucchini that I stuffed and made zucchini bread. Okay, that's good. Zucchini is not one of those things that we have ever grown because we don't eat a lot of zucchini. Well, zucchini bread is good. I like zucchini bread.
Actually, zucchini in the grocery store is kind of pricey, actually.
Yeah, but we never even buy that, though. Now, string beans. Okay, when people say string beans, what are string beans, really? Like, do they have string? I mean, when I think of beans, I think of green beans that are, long. Is that string beans?
I guess so. That's what I call green. I call them green beans.
Like, that's not something I've heard the term string beans, but I don't think that's what is popular, at least in our area. I don't hear people calling them string beans, but I'm assuming they're just what we would call just plain ordinary green beans, but I don't know.
No, we have not tried growing garlic. We don't go through a lot of garlic.
No. Now, Heidi, many of you know who Heidi is. She grows garlic in the summer and she says it's really easy to grow, and she's an expert in it too because she's told all kinds of tips and tricks. The problem is, if to grow garlic in the house, it gives off that garlic smell. And I like garlic, but I don't want to be smelling it all the time in the house. So, and once the garlic comes on too, you get a lot of garlic. So, what do you do with it? I mean, you could pickle it. Of course, you can mince it up or whatever and use it in cooking and that, but we cook with garlic, but not a lot. So I think that would be overkill for us because it all comes on at once. Walter needs a grow light map. Yeah, pretty much, Charlotte. Have you tried Sweet Grace? Have you tried growing green onions under the lights?
I have, but it takes a long time for them to mature. So I don't really bother doing them.
And green onions are not that bad when you buy them in the grocery store price-wise, are they?
And we don't go through a lot of them. And actually, we have a big pot of chives, which a lot of times I can just substitute the chives for green onions.
Yeah, the chives, we don't plant them. They're in a flower pot that we planted many years ago, and they sit out on our deck in the winter. They get frozen, covered in snow and ice, and every spring they come back all the time. We have more chives.
Well, I did end up thinning them out one year. So
yeah, but they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can kill them.
Yeah.
Now there is such a thing as called garlic chives.
Yeah, I tried growing them, but they died really quick. I couldn't get them going.
I don't know. Actually, one thing I think we should try next year in a pot outside is lemongrass.
I tried growing it
last
year, and we had some, but we never ended up using it.
Oh, no, that's true. Yeah, that's another one of those things you get a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, we've done all kinds of herbs and stuff like that, and then I end up not using them. So, I've got oregano going like crazy, and I'd use some today, but I don't use it a lot. Yeah. So,
Karen and Cynthia both say that green beans are also known as string beans. Okay, I kind of thought that was it. Dubrovka says string beans have a string that attaches to the main plant, so they're called string beans. Okay, so they hang off that. Yeah. Okay, well, that's what we call green beans. So that's what I thought. Darcy's here. I always think of string beans as the good homegrown beans versus the green beans in the can. Well, yeah, the green beans in the can are totally tasty.
I don't think they sell that much anymore.
I don't know. We don't buy canned vegetables. So.
If you go to the canned vegetable aisle in our store, there's very few vegetables that are canned anymore.
Yeah.
Well, other than corn.
Carol says, welcome, Carol. older varieties of green beans had strings. When you snapped off each end, you had to pull toward the opposite end to remove the woody, stringy portion of the
okay.
bean. Yes, I remember that as a kid because my grandparents had a garden, and yeah, we used to do that. They'd make us go and, you know, pull off the ends on them.
Yeah, it
all the
depends
time.
on what variety of bean you have. So
Actually, we usually buy beans, frozen ones, and that. And my favorite frozen ones, not Walter's. Walter loves green beans. In fact, that was the only vegetable I think his father ever ate. Yeah, I'm surprised that you still.
yeah, actually, I went through a phase where I didn't like green beans, and then now I like them again. So
Well, I like green beans, but I also like peas. Peas are my favorite vegetable. I love peas, especially little baby peas, because I like to eat babies. But I like the frozen beans and they're not easy to find. We're not finding them in the grocery stores much anymore. The French style ones, which are kind of like they're like a green bean that's been slivered or something. I like those. I don't know why.
like those.
Oh, I know you don't like those. You're just like my
They're
mother.
mushy.
You're just like my mother. If you don't like it, we don't have it. Yeah, my mother used to be like that. It's not yum yum. Not having that. I don't like them. I think Green Giant cans all kinds of vegetables. Barb says, yeah, we just don't look for canned vegetables. That's
No, I usually buy frozen ones
yeah.
if I don't buy fresh.
Yeah, Dubrovka says pole beans have strings. Bush beans do not. Oh, now we're getting confusing. I'm not sure what we got. The beans that I have, I don't have to pull the ends off, and they come in a bag and they're frozen. Okay, those are the beans that I know. Teresa says, I always kept a mound of curly parsley in my flower bed. It made a lovely dark green accent that came back year after year. Yeah, we've grown parsley before too. But parsley, you get a ton of it. What do you do
Actually,
with it?
there's only couple of things that I've used parsley in that I need a lot of it, and I'll just go buy it in the store. Because if I grow it half the time, I forget to use it. So, or forget to freeze it. So
Shannon's here. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, so anyways, the garden's good, and we'll carry on a lesser amount of things in it. What about jalapenos and under the lights?
I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Or just like chili peppers.
Yeah, I could try that.
One little plant of chili peppers would be okay because we don't go through them a lot. But just
pick up
pickled peppers, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they don't grow that big, so I could probably do that.
Thimble Hook and Shutter says, hello, everyone. Nice weather in Vegas now. Low tourist count. No hospitality for the hostile. Okay, that's good. See, Charlotte loves French-style green beans. Charlotte is a lady of taste. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so that's our plans for the winter planting.
Oh, Slay Arts.
That's Shannon.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Shannon.
You want to keep up with the program?
I don't know.
Like, wow. Doesn't know what the grow light numbers are and doesn't like French style beans. Okay, be that way. Okay, talking about food. Let's talk about Walter's cooking experiments this week. Let's talk about the chocolate log, shall we? Explain the chocolate log.
I looked at one of those recipes on YouTube, and it was basically they made a pancake and they put chocolate cream filling, or no, they actually had vanilla cream filling. I made it chocolate cream filling.
Let's back up. Let's talk about the pancake first of all, because that was not a pancake.
Actually, it was. I think when I looked it up later on, it was a Dutch baby.
Didn't look like any Dutch baby I've ever seen.
Well, anyway, they made it sound like it was, and I saw 3 different places that had this recipe, and I thought, okay, it can't be that bad if there were 3 different ones, and it sounded okay, except for the pancake didn't have any baking powder in it or anything like that, which I would thought you kind of needed to get a fluffier cake, right?
It wasn't fluffy.
So I made it. Well, the first night wasn't too bad, but
in your opinion,
anyway, the pancake turned out to be fairly tough, right? And then I filled it with cream, It was tasty, but it was tough. I wouldn't make it again.
It was tasty, but you could not cut that sucker. Like if you're trying to eat it like a
They
dessert
made it sound
before.
like it was melt in your mouth. Definitely, it was not.
It wouldn't melt under a blowtorch.
Yeah. So anyway, I won't do that again.
But having said that, the filling was really good.
Well, the filling was it was supposed to be vanilla, but anyway, it was basically a standard custard that you make with eggs and milk
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of sugar and vanilla and
That's why it was vanilla.
cornstarch, right? And the cream came out very nice.
It was. I said,
But then at the end,
scrape it out of the
I
pancake
thought,
and
I
put it
know
in a
he's
dish.
not big on vanilla, so I thought, well,
Well,
I'll
I
make.
like vanilla. What is this all the time? He's not big on vanilla. He ain't
So
big.
I threw some cocoa in with that. I sort of free-handed it, and it came out really good.
Yes,
It
it
was
did.
tasty.
It was. It tasted chocolatey. It was smooth. It
So
was
now
rich,
I
it was
just need to
delicious.
make a decent cake out of it to fill it.
Yeah. Or you could just put it in a dish and it's chocolate
Or
mousse.
I could make some cream puffs.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
We haven't made cream puffs in a long time.
Yeah.
Cream puffs for the cream puffs, as they say.
Or I can make cream puffs are actually what they used to. Long cream puffs are chocolate eclairs too.
Oh, the ones they call
Long
Long Johns. There's something disgusting.
Yeah, we
about
go to
them.
a bakery and they sell the cream. They sell eclairs and they call them Long Johns.
So, anyways, I think this is the first dessert that was chocolate that I had 2 pieces of it. I could not have any more.
I ate the rest. Of
It upset my tum a little bit.
So
Well,
it's like your tum
okay,
good.
that the reason wasn't the dessert that did that. It was because the second time we had it, we had been out for dinner, and I'd had a chicken coconut curry Thai kind of dish at the restaurant we go to a lot, which was very, very good. But it was very, very rich, and there were a lot of noodles, and we don't eat a lot of carbs anymore. And when I say we don't, because
I
he
don't
won't
cook
let
a
us.
lot of carbs.
He doesn't do it. Like, oh, you should try his spaghetti and meatballs. If you want gritty spaghetti, try the chickpea.
Well, no, I didn't use it this time. I made it with multi-grain.
Same diff. But, anyways, so I had that, and then he presents me with a slice of this other thing, and Walter makes generous slices with it, which under normal circumstances would not bother me. And I couldn't even finish it because my whole system was just rebelling with it, which was unusual. But anyways, it kind of turned me off of it. So, but then to add insult to injury, Walter decided to make something special. He made spring rolls.
Mm.
Well, something that he called spring rolls. What'd you do there?
Well, I don't know. I made it with rice paper, and fried them. So they were okay, but I wouldn't make them again. Actually,
No.
apparently you can get spring roll paper. So
And we now have some. But yeah, I mean, his filling was okay. He's great on fillings. It's the wrap part, not so good. But yeah, they were a little, yeah. I'm glad you only made 2 each for us because they were, not so great. You sure you use rice paper and not copier paper? Yeah, okay. Just checking, after.
But then I ended up buying this big head of cabbage for just making the spring rolls. So I had all this extra cabbage.
So tonight, what are we having tonight for dinner?
Cabbage soup.
We're having cabbage soup. But what's in the cabbage soup besides cabbage?
There's some of our green peppers, or peppers, not green peppers. They're different colors. We have yellow and orange and green and
The corpiconia of
and
colored
then we have some
peppers.
store-bought celery, and we have a store-bought carrot, and we have a bunch of our little tomatoes in there. And what else do I have in there?
Oh, it's
I bought I put a can of mixed, what do you call it? beans, which are the you know, like pinto beans and stuff.
Well, right now, I'm sure it will be delicious because I love cabbage and that kind of thing. Um,
And I put some a can of crushed tomatoes in it.
but the house right now smells like we've been having a little problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. With
And we have cantaloupe, fresh cantaloupe.
and our
for
fresh
dessert.
cantaloupe, our 2-bite cantaloupes that you've chopped up with ice cream. Now, we had something else though that was very delightful this week. On Friday night, we had lobster tails. Now, you may remember that we try every time we're in Costco, we look, but they haven't had them in over a year.
Yeah,
and a
I
half,
mean, they
two.
used to have Canadian fresh caught lobster tails at Costco. And they'd have them at Christmas time a lot. And they came in a 1 pound bag. And so there usually was like 4 lobster tails in a 1 pound bag. And they were really good. And we're not big into seafood or fish or anything, but we do like lobster. And they were never very fishy. They weren't fishy or
No, they
at all.
weren't.
Like,
They were great.
They were all like
They're Canadian
they're
too.
freshly frozen.
They're Atlantic.
So they're not fishy tasting. And I had a hard time finding them, looking around. And I'm always iffy. Like a lot of the other ones, if you go to a store or a grocery store, they'll sell lobster tails that are frozen, but they're Caribbean ones. And we've tried them, and they're not very good.
No.
And so I saw that they have some Costco's here that are business Costco's for businesses, and they sell large quantities of, like, you know, you get your jar of mayonnaise that comes in a pail, right? So, but I noticed that there they've had the Canadian lobsters frozen, but they come in a larger box, and they have 5 pounds in a box. So
They're like, well, they're not a bad price, but for the size of the box that we got, like that, like it was $150.
yeah, which works out to about $30 a pound, which is actually okay.
Yeah.
Because when we were buying the 1 pound bags, they were over $30 for a 1 pound bag.
Yeah.
So
But so we had a couple of those on Friday night, and they were delicious. Yum yum, as they say.
yeah, so like the only thing about buying a 5 pound box is like you're kind of taking a chance that they're okay.
Yeah. But we've never had bad luck from Costco when it came to like lobster and that. So the shrimp too, we figured, or not shrimp, the lobster tails would be fine as well, and they were good. So we're glad we have those. We don't eat
They're
them
a
every
special
day.
treat.
They're a special thing on special occasions. Not that we have many of those. I noticed a few people popped in here while we're talking. Brenda is here. Hi, Brenda. And Kathy's here. Kathy Patterson. Yes, it's been a long time, but glad to see that you're here today, Kathy. So, yeah, now, Walter has something else he's been making. He bought 3 pie pumpkins, and was it yesterday that you roasted the pumpkins?
Yeah, I roasted the pumpkins and made pie filling. Not pie filling, but what do you call it? Mashed pumpkin.
It'll be pie filling.
Yeah.
He's going to make pies of it. But he also roasted the pumpkin seeds. And I was reading about pumpkin seeds today. I've had roasted pumpkin seeds before. You know, basically you toss them in olive oil, you put them in your oven, you toast them, sprinkle them with a little salt, and they're good. If you've never had them before. But they're supposed to be good for you too. I was reading on the internet. There's a whole list of things that are good for your immune system. There's supposedly
Yes,
help
Kathy,
prevent cancer.
I made pumpkin puree.
Yeah, that's it. Pumpkin puree. And all kinds of other things they have. Lots of benefits too. So eat those pumpkin seeds. I mean, Halloween is coming, so save your seeds.
Yeah, Charlotte, there is celery in my cabbage.
No, it's basically kitchen garbage soup. It means everything that was rotting in the fridge, he's put in the soup. So it'll be something.
It wasn't rotting.
No, well, I know, but anyways, did it clean out a lot of stuff out of the fridge? We need to have a lot
no,
of things. Oh, we
there's
still
still-
got stuff in there.
yeah.
Okay. But Susan's here. Hi, Susan. So yeah, Walter's been busy cooking or doing his culinary arts this week with mixed
I still have to
results.
make the pie.
Yes. Yes, my favorite food. And are you making pumpkin chiffon?
Yes, I'll make pumpkin
Ooh,
chiffon
it's so
pie.
light and delicious. Yes, it is. We will not be taking that to my sister's.
No.
I asked her, is there anything we could bring? And she said no. Good, because I didn't tell her about the pumpkin pie. Not taking that to my sister's.
Yes, we like crab's legs, but they're hard to find.
Yeah, they are. So speaking of Thanksgiving, and just a reminder, we're on an hour earlier next week because it's Thanksgiving here and we're going to dinner at my sister's. So because we're going to my sister's for dinner, I always like to take a little something over that I have made. So I created, and I showed them on the vlog. They're the, for the soap you get at Body Works, the foam soap in the, what do you call that? A pump dispenser. Well, you can drop these into it and it makes them look more decorative, but they've got ones for the season. So I made her one that looks like a pumpkin. I made her one that looks like a ghost. I made her one for everyday use. It's a little more elegant. It's not for a particular season. And there's one that's the Santa hat. Now you've seen those because I've shown those before, because I'm making a bunch of those as Christmas gifts too. That's the one that got it all started actually. So I've done that. And I've made for the kids. And I showed those last week I think I showed them on the vlog last week. I get my weeks made out or I'm showing them this week. They're pen holders that look like a winter coat or a t-shirt or a dress and things. I thought they were a lot of fun. So I made a whole bunch of those and I stuffed them with some pens and stuff. Just, I call them kids. They're not kids, they're adults. I mean, my God. One's over 30 and the other one's about to turn 30. So, yeah, but whatever. I mean, they probably laugh after I give them these things. I've given them dragons and things. I go, oh yeah, well, just humor the old man. He won't be around much longer. You're not getting a dime. If I hear that comment come out of your mouth, I'm not leaving you anything. Of course, I threaten them that all the time. They say, yeah, he's probably not doing it anyway. Says, you got it. You're off the will. So yeah, I was making these little gift bags up of stuff like that. We got shot this week on Saturday, actually yesterday. We got our COVID shot. Booster. We were a month early. Apparently.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So
yeah.
I thought we didn't get our other shot until last year. But I forgot we had one earlier this year.
But they gave it to us anyways, and that's okay. It's out of the way. We beat the rush for it. Now, right now, some of the provinces here in Canada are actually charging for the COVID shot. I don't think they're charging seniors.
No, if you're over 65, they won't.
In Ontario, it's still free, as it should be, with all that, because it's all part of our healthcare plan here in this country. So I'm not sure what provinces are.
Well, yeah, Alberta.
Well, Alberta, of course, Alberta.
Alberta, really. Alberta doesn't believe in vaccination, and they had a measles death earlier.
Yeah, they had a premature baby die from measles. Mother had contracted it, I guess, or the baby got it in the womb.
Yeah, because they don't believe in vaccinations.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're good for that, and in November. We're getting our we've already made arrangements with our doctor. We're getting our flu shot. We always get the flu shot every year. So other things. So I cleaned my embroidery machine, deep cleaned it. Hadn't been deep cleaned in about a year. There wasn't much in it. I didn't expect there was much in it, but it was making some squeaky noises, and I'm still a little iffy. I don't know if it's going to have to go in for a professional tune-up or what for spa, yeah, or not. It's working fine. It's just there's this squeak occasionally. So I don't know what that is. I'm still investigating. I've got some theories. But it may have to go in for spa with that, which, I've been working it pretty hard though on those tote bags, which are still the never-ending bloody tote bags. I think I'm on number 10 right now. 2 more after it to go. And we got the latest version of Artistic Digitizer, which is from Janome. It's the computer program for, you know, making your own designs or altering designs and stuff like that. Has a learning curve that goes right out the roof. And it's not a cheap program. I bought my version of it, my original version of the program, when I got the embroidery machine shortly thereafter, and I think at the time it cost me about $1,200 or $1,300 for it. So it's not a cheap program. Well, they've done a major upgrade to it, and if you already have the other one, you only had to pay $400 to get the upgraded version. And I debate it because I don't use it very often. Walter uses it occasionally. But I thought, you know, if you've spent that much money on it originally, it kind of behooves you not to keep up with the upgrades. I mean, it's not like they come out with an upgrade, a major upgrade like this every week. So better not. So anyways, I got it. I installed it. Doesn't look any different to me than the other one, but apparently there are some features that the other one can't do, but I have to, it's on a need to know basis.
Yeah, actually I probably should screw around with it. See.
Yeah, well, now that you've got it on yours, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about Costco. So just here, catch up before we go to the main topic of the day. Laying extra salary on top makes a difference, though.
I didn't have extra salary, so.
No, we were a little low on our salary. Barb says I won't be 65 until January. In Alberta, they're charging $100 for the shot. Yeah, really? They shouldn't be. Not here, not in the way our system works. That's ridiculous. So can you hold off then until after you turn 65 and get it for free then, Barb? Or you may not want to hold off because, you know, who knows about all of that. But yeah, I am somewhat surprised that the Ontario government hasn't done something similar, because they try to nickel and dime us to death on a lot of things. But maybe right now our premier is not in necessarily rising up in the popularity ranks.
Right now, no.
Right now. He had a little brief moment when he was doing things that the federal government should have been doing, but he was doing these things, or saying he was going to do these things, when we were between prime ministers. But that's been sorted out now, so yeah, air's out of his sails. Barb says, I don't know. Danielle Smith said because so much as wasted last year. That's bullshit. You know, that's just...
I mean, she's wasted a lot last year.
Yeah. And what, well, you know, you order so much of it, then get out there and have a campaign telling people, you know, you got it, COVID's not over. You know?
You mean that nobody took shots there? Yeah, well, that's part of the mentality of the people that live in your province. So.
Well, yeah, a lot of anti-vaxxers out there. Yeah, sorry to say. Hello, Texas of Canada. Texas of the North. Yeah, so anyways, moving on. So today in the clickbait, in the title, I started to call it clickbait now because I really intend to get to those topics, but don't really most of the time. So going to talk about fall and Halloween decor, and I'm going to show you my wait, that's not the one I want. I want this one down here. I want this one over here. I want that up here. So I'm going to show you my Halloween decorating tomorrow on the vlog in more detail. This is just one little teaser picture. This is our central coffee table. And since we're talking about embroidery machines, I thought you'd be interested. You've seen these before because I did these several years ago. But the houses, the haunted houses that all light up and everything. And a few 3D prints there too. The ghosts and the cats and the pumpkins and that. And the little cauldrons with the little lights in them. Those I printed on the 3D printer this year. And then the table centerpiece that's underneath all of this, I made that. Did I make that last year? Or did I make that this year? I think I made that. I made that this year. That's new this year. I made that. You can't really see it all here. I had shown it earlier. with it. But I have other decorations up. Now, I didn't used to decorate for Halloween. My idea of decorating for Halloween was I have this plastic pumpkin that makes sound that I stick on the front doorstep or inside the door, and that's it. There you go, kid. Here's a candy. Move on. But then I started 3D printing and doing embroidery stuff, and I've got quilts. Yeah, I'll show you the quilts tomorrow too, on the vlog. So we have quilts on all the furniture and hanging on the walls that are all Halloween themed and whatnot. And then what'll happen is when October ends, I will remove the Halloween stuff, but lo and behold, I have integrated my fall decor amongst my Halloween stuff. So when I remove the Halloween stuff, it becomes fall. And that'll stay up for about for the month of November, and then come the first week of December, we go Christmas mode. I've become my mother. She decorated for every month of the year, and she decorated everywhere. There was stuff in the living room, stuff in the kitchen, stuff in the bathroom. I draw the line at the bathroom. Well, actually, that's not true. The guest bathroom down here at Christmas time gets a few things. And there is a pumpkin in there right now for one of those soap holder things. So, yeah, you become your parents at a certain age. So, yep. But I wondered, okay, am I on trend with my Halloween decorations and fall decorations this year? I mean, not that I care, but I thought I should take a look at what are people putting up. So I did a little search with AI, and I put in what's trending for fall decor in 2025, and this is what what AI came up with. 66 best fall decorating ideas to turn your home into a seasonal escape. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here I would never do. Like, okay, the rustic looking wreath on your front door, and you can go out and pick the foliage if it's changed yet. Ours hasn't changed enough yet. Or get the fake stuff, then you can use it year after year. I mean,
but then you got to store it somewhere.
Yeah, that's the big problem. Okay, bedroom done. Oh, this is ugly. I'm sorry, but this is just ugly. This looks like somebody who's going to lay there and die. I don't know. I don't like that at all. Doesn't appeal to me. Repurpose your wool blanket. Make it into a lovely ottoman. First of all, that's an ugly wool blanket. And why would I want to make it into a cube? I don't know. Hang weathered accessories. Sure, nothing.
Sure, if you have a log cabin home.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, like, look at this. Okay, there are people who love that weathered and distressed look, as they call it. And, I have to say, when I was a scrapbooker,
And you can paint
I liked
Chinese checkers on your wall.
yeah, like, you go to the thrift store and you find ugly old stuff and hang it on a wall and call it decor. Yeah,
Oh,
nothing
no.
says fall like a dead animal skull. Or how about pine cones hanging from your curtains? Sure, love it.
They look like those things they hang on the back of his truck.
Yeah, they might be fun. Add feathers to your centerpiece. Why not? Go out and find a poor bird and pluck it. Or if you buy your fresh chicken or something, or turkey, and you pluck it yourself, save the feathers. Craft a mossy wreath. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not ugly, but it looks like a lot of work. Oh, but this. There you go. Stack your pumpkins. This is all the rage right now, including in 3D printing. You can get files for printing stacked pumpkins. What is it about stacked pumpkins people like? I don't understand. Oh, here you go. The mums. Next door neighbor has her mums out. She puts them out every year. She gets mums. And Costco right now has mums coming out of the yin yang with it all. In fact, Walter said, well, we could buy a couple of mums. Actually, we have done mums before. But then they go to mush. As soon as the first frost comes, you've got mum mush. So it's kind of runny. Okay. All right. All of these things, if you notice, they stage them all in houses that look more country, and they kind of maybe suit that decor. Wouldn't suit our decor. Layer in pine cones. Nothing. Yeah. Basket of pine cones. Go for it. Make sure they're not covered in sap or have vermin in them or bugs, because they can. Display vintage collections. So stick your old flatware or your old dishes on the wall. Do you think I'm being too facetious about this? Yeah, I don't know this. Warm up a room with a fire. Okay. Create a cozy reading cubby. Yeah, do people really use reading cubbies? You know, that's something that you see in a lot of home decor things. You know, they have this area and they put it in a kid's room where they can curl up with a book. They're not curling up with
Maybe
books.
you can get one of those bench pillows from...
from Kimberbell?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Add in all the ironstone. Not even going to explain that. Hang woven pieces for homey texture.
Sounds like too much trouble.
Yeah. Get ready for guests. We don't have any. Build a bar and game station.
Yeah, put out all your liquor bottles.
Put out all your liquor. That's ugly. That looks like a mess. Hunt and gather. What? Sheaves of wheat? Rustic mantle, white bowls of collected pine cones? And let's not forget the dead animal skin on your floor.
This sort of reminds me of what you do in a bed and breakfast to make it look good.
Yeah. Accessorize your coffee table. Yeah, well, I guess that's what I'm doing. Add foliage to pumpkins. Well, there's a thought. Have glue gun. We'll stick things to pumpkins. Pull out all your blankets. Why? Okay, I pull out all my quilts.
These all look like pictures of bed and breakfasts or something.
Well, yeah, they're all staged. Place pumpkins in unexpected places, like where the sun doesn't shine. I don't know. Your couch is lumpy.
Stick your pumpkins.
Yeah, that's because I have a pumpkin under the cushions. Are you surprised? Skip the traditional orange and red color palette. Okay, stick up your old Delft. Use cozy blankets in new ways. They got this thing about blankets. Oh yeah, let's use a blanket as a tablecloth. Make a pumpkin runner. Well, okay, I've done that. Spice up your flower arrangements. Yeah, use old boxes. So there's a lot of stuff on here that, I don't know, they might be inspiring to a point. But yeah, I guess maybe if you wanted to set a theme or mood, if you were having people over for Thanksgiving dinner or something, you might want to do something a little dressy. I mean, I would on a table setting if I was having guests for dinner or something like that. But anyways, some interesting ideas there.
Well, luckily you don't look at porn sites because you've got
What?
You've got sewing stuff on there.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, nice iron. I just want to pull this around for a second and just see if there's some comments about my little things here. Oh, looks like we've got. Let's see. No. But Kathy likes my table thing. Thank you. Jeannie says, I do that also. Love to change the decor. I hate the log cabin look. Yeah, I'm with you, Barb. Although some people really like that, you know, but I don't. Bench pillow from Kimberbell. Yeah, jazz hands. Hello, fall. Yeah, Kimberbell. That's all they seem to make is bench pillows. How many benches does somebody have in their house? I don't know. They do a few quilts, but mostly benches. Okay, now Halloween decor, however. I learned something in this if I can find it. Okay. Most Halloween decor is junk. These items will charm and spook you year after year. Okay, they're setting us up here for that. Is this what they consider junk? Not sure. Handsome lighting. Candles. Oh, handsome. Oh, I get it. All right, well, whatever. I don't like candle. Like, I don't like wax candles. Oh, a haunting glow. Trees are a thing. People do Halloween trees. And they do a Christmas tree. They've got like
with orange lights.
Well, yeah, with orange lights, but also little, like all kinds of like little pumpkins and things like that on them, which in one way kind of intrigues me, but I don't want to be doing 2 trees within 2 months of each other, kind of a thing. Yeah, okay.
Spooky knobs.
Well, these could be other things too. I'm not sure what we're showing here, but yeah. Yeah, let's put rotting fruit in a basket that looks like a web. Sure, that sounds good. These, of course, are all being sold. So
yeah,
these are lights. Okay, and they're probably a good, quite a price. Yeah, $53 for a set of 2. Well, that's not horrible, but I mean,
I suppose you're going to use them as fall decor as well.
Yeah. There's a vase with a little moon on it. Well, that's nice. Another candle holder. Oh, well, it's only $110 for that. Well, what a bargain. Okay, this just creeps me. Skeleton hand serving set. Well, if you're serving something that you know your guests aren't going to like, you might as well use the bony finger thing, or maybe suggest to them you might want to be careful how much of this you eat. Black magic. Sin in linen, Elysian Fields tablecloth. Oh, it's from $24.
It's got bats in it.
Actually, I kind of like that.
Yeah, well, it's got bats in it.
Yeah, I know.
And Venus flytraps.
But I kind of like that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's right. It's subtle.
I mean, if you have dark, like very dark navy blue or black napkins or something with it, I think that could look quite sharp. Okay, I don't like plates. Spooky sipping. Oh, glassware. Do people buy glassware that they get out only at a certain time of the year?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't. But maybe it's a thing. Black candles. Okay, those look like they're flameless. Pillar candle. Yeah, they're flameless. $40. Why not just get a cheap flameless candle from Amazon, paint it black? Pumpkin spice and everything nice. Okay, pumpkin spice. When you first smell it, you like it. You know, it's got that, you know, pumpkin pie kind of freshly baked smell in it. But if you've got it someplace going all day long, you start to gag.
It's like that apple cinnamon stuff.
It's nice when you get the first whiff of it. Days of it make me throw up. Elegant creatures. Okay, this is for Halloween. That's moths on a pillow. They really like the candles. More candles. Okay. Well, countdown to Halloween. Now they've got like an advent calendar for Halloween. Although this is kind of cute. It's one of those little houses things. I like little houses, but old school scares. Okay. Well, of course. Actually, I think that's kind of funny. That one. Hey, could it 3D print something like that? Yeah. Have another drink for the road. Well, actually, I think that's kind of funny in some ways. Kitties in the kitchen. Orange cats. Shouldn't they be black? I don't know what we're selling here.
I think it's colored light.
Oh, okay. Well, I like colored lights, but... Oh, that looks just cheap. Okay. Night lights. Ghostly Warm. Oh, please make a quilt. How much do they charge you for this? $20 for a throw.
IKEA.
Oh, it's a throw up. And what's this, your front step? Yeah, a lot of people do this. They get the pumpkins and they get vines and they get wheat shifts and things like that, and they do this like thing outside, which I don't really mind. I just, I gotta clean it up afterwards, and you gotta get that stuff. And depending
depending on what kind of neighborhood you live in, there might be kids going around smashing pumpkins
or lighting them on fire. You can buy those what do they call them? The corn stalks. You can go that. Yeah. Now, apparently the local farmers get upset if you go and pull up their corn stalks or whatever. I don't know. They like to plow them under or do something with them. Yeah, no. I don't think so. It's for a bird feeder.
Yeah, I know. Just what you need, more rodents.
Yeah, the squirrels will be hanging out under that. Yeah, so anyways, those are things. But I read somewhere that the colors this year for Halloween are pink and green. Getting away from, purple, black, orange kind of the colors thing. But pink and green. I guess it wasn't in this article that I saw this. But, ooh. The green, like the green with the purple, that's something. But pink? Well, I don't think. Well, I don't like pink anyway. So anyways, I thought it was kind of interesting to see what the posh people are doing. Oops, these days, with all that kind of stuff. Yeah, get back up. Oh, did I lose it? No, I did. I lost it. No, I didn't. There it is. Okay, what I wanted. You guys can't see what we're seeing, but that's okay. All right, so Charlotte says she prefers my decor.
Well, they do Easter trees too, so.
What? Who? Oh, yes, there's Easter tree. I did an Easter tree one year, but I bought it. It was a little one on the table. It's long gone now. Oh, Cynthia says they have a tree, like a Halloween tree. I know Russ has his Christmas tree up. He's early. We'll say no more about that. Oh, Karen says not rotting fruit, but pomegranates. They look like rotting fruit to me, but yeah, they were pomegranates. Hi, Denise. And Diana's here. Hi, Diana. So anyways, I don't know if you get into this or not, doing a decor for the season. Some people do. Like I said, my mother was a biggie for that. She loved it. Karen says, I chose pink and green for my arm splint, broken arm. Had no idea it was a thing. Well, you're ready for Halloween. There you go, Karen. So anyways, that's it for us today. So just another reminder that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, registration opens for the retreat. So if you are on the fence about whether you want to go or whatever, you don't want to leave it too long because it does fill up pretty fast. I don't think it's going to fill up right tomorrow, but I'm never sure about that because I know Becca put it out to her community on her newsletter. And there's probably a whole bunch of people there that I've never seen before that didn't know that my channel exists. So it could be very interesting how many we have. But if you get on and you register, I will send you a confirmation so you know your spot is reserved for that. So no worries. And remember, it's free. It's all free. So, and we got great speakers for it. Becca from Becca. Ian from the Off Kilter Crafter. That is so hard to say. Adam from Adam Sews. And John from Art East Quilting Company. So, yeah. It's a really, I think this is my best lineup of speakers yet. So it's going to be a great day. So you want to get yourself registered for that. So on that note, we are off. Have a good, what's the rest of the day? We're going to eat our garbage soup and 2-bite melons for dessert. See you next week. Bye, everybody. Remember, next week, 3 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. We're 1 hour early next week.